Set nearly 1,000 years before the events in The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion and The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls Online lets you take part in the stories set within the compelling history and deep lore of the Elder Scrolls franchise. Designed to be played exactly the way you want to play, you can start wherever you like. With no level restrictions and no subscription required, this massive world is yours to explore, alone or with friends. Choose a favorite location or storyline and jump in from capital cities of the Three Alliances to the magical skies, Khajiit territory of Elsewhere, Morrowind, the home of the Dark Elves. From frozen Skyrim in the north to the endless swamps of Blackmarsh, adventure is everywhere. Are you ready to forge your own legend? Options for creating and personalizing characters in The Elder Scrolls Online are almost without limit. Choose from 9 different character races, with a 10th race option available as an add-on. Select from 6 uniques and customize them to exactly the role. Want to create a high elf sorcerer who wears heavy armor and wields dual daggers for close quarters combat? Why not? Or maybe a Redguard Dragon Knight who prefers light armor and a bow. It's completely up to you. Earn skills as you adventure across Tamriel to improve your character. Then master and customize your skills to match your style of play. As you explore the world, keep an eye out for sky shards. For every 3 of these rare crystals you collect, you earn a bonus skill point to spend on your character. The in-game skill advisor provides recommendations on how to best your points at each level based on the different roles available to your character. And you can always reset your skills and reallocate your points whenever you visit a major city, so you can build and play the exact character you imagine. Go anywhere, do anything. That's the freedom granted in The Elder Scrolls Online. The game scales your character to the content, so explore any dark cave or mysterious forest that intrigues you. Adventure on your own, or with friends, even if those friends have wildly different levels or belong to different alliances. Dive into the rich and varied story content as a solo player, or join a group to take on the most dangerous dungeons and boss monsters in the world. During your character creation, select one of the 3 alliances competing for power in this era: the Daggerfall Covenant, the Ebonheart Pact, or the Aldmeri Dominion. Each alliance features a unique and compelling storyline, but your choice never precludes you from playing with friends of different alliances. The Elder Scrolls Online is designed so you can travel anywhere at any time, no matter your alliance. Tamriel is a dangerous place. When you cannot sneak or talk your way out of conflict, you have to fight. The Elder Scrolls Online features an action-based combat system, reminiscent of the classic Elder Scrolls games. Use your skills, special abilities, and a combination of light and heavy attacks to defend yourself and your allies while you obliterate your foes. Unleash powerful synergy attacks when fighting as part of a group, and use block and dodge to reduce damage and avoid enemy attacks. If you prefer sneaking to direct combat, you can use stealth to evade detection, get around obstacles, or even set yourself up to unleash a potent surprise attack. Even the best solo player needs a little help now and then. Use the group and activity finder and the friends list to team up with other players for a dungeon or other adventure. The Elder Scrolls Online community is extremely welcoming to new players and invites them to join in. Our players go out of their way to help new players and show them the ins and outs of adventuring in Tamriel. This is especially evident within player guilds, a great way to meet and develop lasting relationships that enhance your game. Join a guild to trade resources, tackle group content, or simply chat about the latest revelation of lore. There are also in-game guilds your character can join to receive new skill options and special rewards. The Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and the Thieves Guild are all accessible through story content. And for a real challenge, join the Undaunted and earn a unique skill line and extra rewards for tackling group dungeons. Dungeons present some of the most difficult and dangerous content available in the Elder Scrolls Online. From the small dungeon delves that challenge souls, dungeons that require 4 to take on, to the ultimate 12-person trials. These strange and wondrous places offer amazing visuals, complex battles, and compelling opponents unlike anything else in the game. Once your character reaches level and you have a better understanding of the game, the Elder Scrolls Online gives you the option to participate in a variety of player versus player, or PvP, content. Duels are a more intimate PvP experience, where you can test your skills or try out a new character build in one-on-one combat against another player. Battlegrounds present short, intense combat. 4-person teams take on 15-minute battles to earn achievements, experience, and special rewards. Alliance wars are loyal battles, where the 3 alliances fight for control of the capital of Cyrodiil. With siege weapons and massive armies, fight to capture and defend keeps and win the day. While you adventure and explore, don't forget to collect the valuable resources you find scattered throughout the world. These items can be used to craft weapons, armor, food, potions, and accessories that you can use to improve or further customize your character. Develop your skills in one or more professions and improve them by completing specialized crafting writs. The professions include alchemy, blacksmithing, enchanting, clothing, woodworking, provisioning, and jewelry crafting. The Elder Scrolls Online provides players with the ability to own and personalize homes for their characters all across Tamriel. Homes can be acquired by completing purchase through the Crown Store or bought with in-game gold. Houses consist of single-room abodes to multi-chambered mansions, but no opulence or grandeur of a manor house, complete with luxury accommodation for your character and up to 24 guests. Home ownership doesn't end there. Furnishings and accessories to personalize, improve, and decorate. There's never been a better moment. Jump in and start playing Elder Scrolls Online. With access to a multitude of adventures all across the width and breadth of Unreal, and the freedom to play wherever and however you like. It's time to begin your The Scroll.
Thanks, Maribel. And we're welcoming to ESO News. Kind of starts up around 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks again for starting to chat over in some of the channels already. Right now, what I'm looking at here right now of what's going on inside of the system, if you are logged into Twitch right now, there are about an estimated amount of 14 million viewers in Twitch right now, and that's an amazing amount of so many people. And when we talk to so many people, you can't talk to one person all at the same time, except through a place like on the internet, to where we can communicate the messages, to whether it's a small group or a very large group. The estimated Elder Scrolls faithful following is about 22 million followers in the entire world. It's an amazing thing when you think of how there's like so many people in this world and so many people struggling in the world. And so what I feel like in trying to explain, like trying to get the word out in Elder Scrolls, that goes multiple forms in the different things, where I try to relate the Holy Word with Elder Scrolls, getting that in. What I consider with what's going on with the world is I consider Elder Scrolls as kind of the next generation of Sesame Street. That's a pretty sweet thing to think about, like trying to get the word into different cultures, even though you might not understand like a lick of a different language. At least we can understand each other by the graphics and the the things that we see on the screen. We might not understand another language, and that involves translators, and that's what Elder Scrolls is about, is reaching the world through an animated universe, otherwise known as the Elder Scrolls universe. Right now, what I'm looking at here is the daily login rewards here of this current month, February, in this current year, 2020. Coming up here in June, we got the next chapter coming in, and it's going to be getting very heated and very good stuff. Get the life spark in. I always say use the gloom spore, and that's a really good thing. It's kind of a little colorish blue, as you can kind of see, like the background color in here. This is some good stuff of what you can kind of consider like what the gloom spore color is, specifically for Elder Scrolls. And this is a beautiful thing about Elder Scrolls, is the color and animation that the alliances hold. What I'm talking about, there are 3 different alliances inside of Elder Scrolls, each one fighting for the betterment of their culture, whether it's one race to the other race. One alliance holds one color, and it's an important thing. As soon as you get involved with Elder Scrolls, if you're not already, you'll start loving Elder Scrolls immediately. The withholding colors are kind of in Daggerfall Covenant having blue, where Aldemary Dominion has the color of yellow, whereas Ebonheart Pact has the color of red. Those are the three main colors, and for artists, that's an important. How are we going to be able to translate the color over? Well, translating the color involves abstract language, whereas we need the words to translate to where we can understand. In Elder Scrolls, under my understanding, what we have is two main fonts in Elder Scrolls called Motive Sans and Papyrus. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, as you can kind of see here in ElderScrollsOnline.com. If you were not aware of the site that is on here right now, this is the main site for Elder Scrolls Online, and here with the font that you see, daily login rewards, February of 2024. It's most likely a Motive Sans font for the word. So that's an important thing for us. Not only is the word important to us, but the color is important to us as well. How we're able to translate these types of information over, that's absolutely amazing. Someone that translates this might not know of what they're actually doing, but it's the tools that are given to us to where we can produce the beautiful images that you guys see throughout the entire Elder Scrolls universe. Not everything is all beautiful. However, 99.9% of the game is totally beautiful. Some of the things inside of Elder Scrolls I don't agree with. However, I do agree with Elder Scrolls as a whole. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. And we've got some new information coming in today. You guys are going to be receiving some Telvar stones in Xbox and some Seals of Endeavor in Steam. Not sure what's going on, what you guys are going to receive over in PlayStation. I have a PlayStation account, but I don't have a PlayStation console. So what I'm asking for those of you that are able to chat in the different chat channels throughout the internet, what I want you guys to do is, those of you that have a PlayStation console, I want you to actually write in here on one of the channels, whether it is YouTube or on Twitch. I want you guys to write down what you are receiving today for reward. So if I can communicate the message, that's great. Or if somebody else can communicate the message on what you guys in PlayStation are receiving, that helps us out tremendously. That brings the entire company as a whole, and it betters the company. It grows Elder Scrolls tremendously when we are receiving. What I would like, preferably, is to have every console receiving the same thing each day. That's not currently possible because the two or three consoles are gathered. You get what I'm saying? we're consoles, and we're gathering together. we're just in a little window, trying to get out, and so those Telvar stones are very important. What I'm explaining with the Telvar stones, that involves part of what's called AI. And what I have to explain how important the Telvar stones is. Some players would be like, yeah, what are those Telvar stones? Yeah, they're kind of cute, but they're like, yeah, whatever, they're there. But I want it to kind of be known that the Telvar stones are one of the most key fundamental pieces to Elder Scrolls. It's gone down from many different graphics throughout the years, and what I'm talking about with the Telvar stones is the AI actually build from us going into those doors inside of the windows inside of the in-game play. It's absolutely beautiful. When you're building in the game, if you do build, that's great. If you didn't know that, That's something that you'll learn about Elder Scrolls and the beautiful thing about the study of animations. Right here in the news broadcast, I'll try to bring out every kind of information about Elder Scrolls that I can for you guys. However, I can't get it out all at once, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick break. Hopefully, you guys are having a great drive and getting ready for the weekend and doing all of the normal things that you always do that will help you grow. Hopefully, you're having a good drive. I'll be right back. Hopefully you guys are having a good drive. Electronics are going a little bit slower. They're getting better though. And so looking in here a little bit on what songs go into which scene in a game series of Elder Scrolls is absolutely awesome. And you have fun, listening to getting to know the different types of music. Sounds like it's sizzling. Sky Oblivion. So this is the kind of what has just kind of came out and out thing. Kind of just picked this really quick um, for the pre soundtrack of Sky Oblivion. Some of the songs that you hear in here are part of the game, and learning a whole heck of a lot of the different songs in the game are a blessing to hear. The new song that has been noticed is "Weapons Drawn" in the Elder Scrolls music soundtracks. So that's something to look forward to. That is one of my favorite songs to listen to inside of the Elder Scrolls soundtracks. Hopefully, you will enjoy this and learn a little bit more about your game that you're playing. Learn a little bit more about Elder Scrolls. So we're going to start out with the Sea of Ghosts. This is going to be a great thing when this actually functions. The Sea of Ghosts. Hope you've been enjoying your drive today in ESO News, as this is the most informative news about Elder Scrolls universe. What have you been doing? What do you think the viewer count over on Twitch is? I already know I don't got much. So how many people like have started like watching Twitch? Well, let's don't I didn't hear anything. So what I'm gonna do is we're going to get into a live Elder Scrolls discussion. Wow. How amazing. How amazing how amazing is that? Pretty amazing. So let's check it out. I hope so. I'm feeling a little drowsy. And today they are talking about the public test server. Talking about the PTS patch notes version 3.0. If you have an Xbox, the new version is 1.34.3.0. How I know that, I don't know. So they're looking into the patch notes for version 9 of 3.0. Oh, sweet. So let's get into the discussion. What do they have to say? Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online version 9 3.0 and our first DLC for 2024, Scions of Anthelia. This DLC features to challenging new 4-player PvE dungeons. Oathsworn Pit is a training ground for Malakath's Chosen, and the God of Curses demands you enact revenge on behalf of the fallen. In Bedlamvel, located within the demiplane of Maelstrom, you'll find cultists have invaded, and it's up to you to defend this ancient vault and the mysterious relic it protects. Completing these dungeons gives you the chance at obtaining a number of new item sets, collectibles, achievements, and more. As part of the free base game update, we've added 3 new PvP item sets that are earned from rewards of the worthy, in addition to a new antiquity. We've also unified both gear and Cyrodiil repair kits to aid in any inventory woes. And siege equipment will also now stack. Undaunted key rewards have been increased, and we've also updated graphic settings presets and the minimum specs for the game. Finally, we hope you'll check out the Gold Road Chapter Prologue quest, which is available to test with this patch. We've copied all PC and A characters for this week's patch, which is approximately 2.99 gigabytes in size. We hope you enjoyed this year's first DLC and can't wait to read your feedback. Wow. So the first DLC's Scions of Athelia? Wow. Yeah. I'm going to talk to Redley and see if Redley wants to sign up in the Scions of Athelia pageant that's coming up. And what was that? Table of contents. New features, updates, big changes. Scions of Athelia DLC game pack. 2 new dungeons, new item sets, achievements and titles. Update 41 base game, unified repair kits, stackable siege weaponry, new rewards for the worthy, new antiquities, new collectibles, increased undaunted key rewards, new homes, new furnishings, new container icons, Westwild prologue quest, prisoner of fate, UI, font rendering, min spec update, updates to graphics, settings, presets, template information, combat and complay, combat and abilities, itemization and item sets, companions, fixes, and improvements, chapters and DLCs, base game. Some pretty sweet stuff. I like that going on there. And as much as this might be boring to you, what's going on over in Steam, I got the keyboard working so we can all chat in Steam. Yay! Aren't you so excited to be able to chat with me over in Steam, playing the 3rd DLC of Sky Oblivion? It's going to be so much sweet. Very technical. And now we have the ability to chat with each other. Some great stuff. So if you want to tune in over at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, go right on ahead. Let's go back to the discussion. DLC game pack, 2 new dungeons, Oathsworn Pit. For centuries, the secluded retreat of Oathsworn Pit has been proving ground for followers of Malakath, honing their martial skills in the shadow of the Daedric Prince. A band of wood elves calling themselves the Recollection have recently arrived with an ultimatum. Join their army or die. Bending the knee to these usurpers would draw shame in the eyes of Malakath. and battle commenced. Now the lodges of the pit stand against the recollection to free themselves from the shackle of servitude. But do the Wood Elves have another motive? Bedlam Bell, the workshop of Fa Newt Hen, Bedlam Bell has been invaded by a mysterious force calling themselves the Blind Path and led by an opposing Daedra known as the Blind. Her forces have seized control of the workshop, searching for an artifact of great importance. The Enoquinir, Fa Newt Hen, ever delighted by surprises and tests, is amused by this intrusion and could be remember what the Enoquinir was or where it was. He would undoubtedly seal it away. One thing is for certain. The artifact must not fall into the hands of the Blind and her forces. You got to think is like this is like the fake Athalia. Athalia is supposed to be the hero. Is Athalia the Blind? Probably not. He's the hero. Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vale are 4-player dungeons which can be reached via the Reach and Rothgar, respectively. Oathsworn's Pit's entrance is in the northern section of the Reach. The entrance is north of the Duradok Mountains Way Shrine. Bedlam's Vale is located in western Rothgar, north of the Siege Road Way Shrine. The dungeons include a normal version in addition to a veteran version. So the veteran version is not the normal. Each dungeon features challenging hard modes for each of their 3 boss encounters. There are unique item sets, including 2 new Undaunted Monster Mask sets. Who forgot about the Cyrodiil Monster Masks? Only available within the dungeons. Unique achievement awards are available for completing the dungeons, including the following. Unique skin. Might need the Arcness in here. The Blood Marks of Malakath are available for those who complete both Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vale. Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vale. Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vale. On at least veteran difficulty, and trigger the achievement Scions of Athalia Delver. 2 unique mementos. The Malakath Helm, Haunt, and Enoquinir examination mementos are available players who complete Oathsworn Pit and Bedlam Vale, respectively, on at least veteran difficulty. Unique die. Artifact Hunter Amber is available for those who complete their Retribution Takes Time achievement. Several titles, unique housing items, new item sets. We have added several new item sets and monster masks to acquire from the Scions of Athalia dungeons. Scions of Athalia dungeons. Bedlam Vale, light armor, blind path induction. 2 adds 1096 maximum magicka. 3 adds 4% healing done. 4 adds 1096 maximum magicka. 5 increases the strength of your damage shields by 13%. to targets 15 meters or closer to you. Increase your healing done by 13% to targets for more than 5 meters away from you. Medium armor, tarnished nightmare. 2. Adds Zex, Fumf, Zeben. Critical chance, dry adds 600 Fumf, Zeben. Critical chance, 4 adds 657 critical chance. 5. When you deal critical damage to an enemy, glass shards burst 8 meters around them, dealing physical damage to enemies in the burst and applying sundered status effect. Dealing additional physical damage and applying minor breach for 4 seconds. Reducing the target's physical and spell resistance by 2974, period. This effect can occur once every 8 seconds, and the damage scales off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. Heavy armor, reflected fury. 2 adds 1206 maximum health. 3 adds 1206 maximum health. 4 adds 9096 maximum stamina. 5 boom. Is that a target? When you taunt an enemy, gain a stack of broken shards for 5 seconds, up to 5 stacks max, period. You can only gain 1 stack every 1 second. When broken shards ends, you release the stacks on an 8-meter blast, dealing physical damage to enemies hit and applying major maim to them for 3 seconds per stack of broken shards consumed, reducing their damage done by 10%. The damage scales off your max health. Does this sound real? Do I sound real? Master Max! The blind 1 adds 657 critical chance to critically healing yourself, or an ally grants them a hydro glass damage shield that absorbs up to 2692 damage for 6 seconds. While the damage shield holds for dry seconds, after it ends, the target gains minor force, increasing their critical damage done by 10%, period. Oathsworn Pit. Light armor, Cinders of Anthelomere. 2 adds 1487 offensive penetration. 3 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 4 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. You might have thought you were getting like stale bread from Whiterun. 5. On dealing damage, summon a Cinder Moth. You ever heard of a Cinder Moth? I haven't heard of a Cinder Moth since I heard of the moths over in the cave. For 8 seconds, the chase is the target and searches for a new one within 8 meters. I was thinking it was looking like it was 5 meters, but it was actually 8 meters if the initial is slain. The first enemy that gets near the Cinder Moth causes it to stop and burst after 1 second. Who comes up with this kind of stuff? Dealing flame damage and applying burning to enemies within 8 meters. This is down to a science, I swear. This can occur once every 8 seconds and scales off your weapon and scale damage. Medium armor, Sleuth Rugs, Hunger. 2 adds 129 stamina recovery. 3 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 3. Oh, it's 4. Adds 1487 offensive penetration. 5. Healing yourself or an ally makes your target blood hungry for 3 seconds. Have you gotten anything to eat? Have you ever looked inside of a store where you see the rib steak? What was that? What was that rib steak? It wasn't serene. It wasn't. It wasn't serene. I'm trying to think. I saw some red ribeye steak, and I saw some ribeye steak that was brown. You know what I'm saying? In the freezer in a store. The company's a good ribeye steak. However, the um, I saw the steak, like not the color is supposed, not the color that steak is supposed to be. It looked like the steak was sitting outside, laying down on the ground, chilling. Or one of the skeletons was like, I'm looking for my leg so I can repair my leg and for the game to when I get the wedding dress for tonight's game. For 3 seconds. Dealing direct damage to an enemy makes them bloodied for 3 seconds. Bloodied enemies take 4% more damage from and deal 4% less damage to blood hungry targets. Do you understand a word of this? I'm kind of understanding. So when you get further on, you probably understand the fifth version more than you do the upcoming sixth version that's coming in. You might have thought the next chapter was not a smart chapter, but the next chapter is a smart chapter because the next chapter is going to lead into the sixth version of Elder Scrolls. Is that going to be Sky Oblivion? I think so. Heavy armor, Black Grove grounding. 2 adds 4% healing taken. 3 adds 1206 maximum health. 4 adds 1206 maximum health. 5 after taking direct damage 3 times within 5 seconds. Like getting bucked off the bull. Like you thought, like you were gonna stay on longer than 8 seconds, and then you got bucked off after 5 seconds. You create a 5-meter area for 10 seconds. Now think about that. You're like riding the bull. The bull's bucking. You're like, I rode that bull for more than 8 seconds. I rode that bull for 10 seconds. You and group members who touch the area gain grounding. I don't think they knew what they were actually writing. They were probably laughing so much. For 15 seconds, reducing the cost of roll dodging by 20% and increasing block mitigation by 12%. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. You gotta remember the Cyrodiil monster mask. Anthemir's construct. 1 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 2, attacking an enemy with a fully charged heavy attack throws an axe at your enemy, dealing physical damage and reducing armor for 5 seconds. I'd be perfect for saying like what the stats are during a battle. Be great, you know. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds in the damage and armor reduction scale off the higher of your weapon or spell damage. The axe drops to the ground after traveling to your target. Is it going to be 6 or 7 seconds? Is it going to be 4 seconds? Is it going to be 4 seconds? Go. 5 seconds touching the axe reduces the cooldown of this set by 5 seconds. So is that like cooling down your character, where you're like you stop, but the character keeps on rolling until the graphics catch up to your pinpointed location. Do you know what I'm saying right now? Hopefully you do. Achievements and titles. This update introduces 56 new achievements and 7 new titles. That is amazing. The title Oathsworn can be obtained by completing the Lighting the Embers achievement. Don't get into cat theology, because you know that's a great quest, lighting the embers. You know it. If you're not an Elder Scrolls player, you're not gonna know what lighting the embers means. And you can't say embers are girls. The title Bedlam's Disciple, I know better, can be obtained by completing the Unshakable Fervor achievement. The title Pitmaster can be obtained by completing the Scorched Surviving achievement. Ooh. You know what, like if you're getting like scorched, you're like, oh, I'm getting scorched. I'm kind of like a frog in the water. I'm getting scorched. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm getting scorched. No. I gotta get out of here. The title, the self-governing, can be obtained by completing the Lithe and Clever achievement. Lithe, the lathe? Is that meant for as the lathe, like the blacksmith, blacksmith, at the like blacksmith pit, where you're just working really hard on making that wedding ring in the lathe, thinking you're so clever, because you are, because you're making those wedding rings. The title The Vengeful can be obtained by completing the Oathsworn Pit Champion achievement. Yeah, you be the Oathsworn Pit Champion. You can be with the Oathsworn. Don't forget Daggerfall Covenant. The title The Intervener. the Intervener. So, okay, so you're going to want to actually get in on this with becoming the Intervener. Now, you can obtain this by completing the Bedlam Vel Champion achievement. Okay, so this is the two mentalities. I'll go over this here in a little bit. Over the two mentalities that are coming into the first DLC, Scions of Athelia. You're gonna laugh over what this is. The title Cake Connoisseur can be obtained by completing the Cake Devourer achievement. And what I'm talking about here by the two mentalities for the first DLC of Scions of Athelia, what this tells me is there is going to be two types of players that are going to emerge inside of Elder Scrolls. Either the Vengeful or the Intervener. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually gear towards becoming the Anchorborn if you can. So when it comes down to it, it's gonna go in quite possibly. The Vengeful is going to be competing against the Intervener, and either in the semifinals or in the finals to become the Anchorborn. Update 41 base news game. Unified repair kits, gear repair kits have been unified. No longer will you receive petty, minor, lesser, common, greater, or grand repair kits. You'll just get equipment repair kits. And those will be able to repair gear of any level. So the equipment repair kits are going to repair gear of any level, like the grand repair kits of old. I'm starting to get you to think, all right. Additionally, Cyrodiil repair kits. Now, does the Cyrodiil repair kits talk to the equipment repair kits? This might sound insane to some, but I'm not even joking. These AI bots are actually talking to each other. I'm assuming that the Cyrodiil repair kits are actually talking to the equipment repair kits. Wouldn't that be amazing to listen to the AI bots actually talk to each other? That's amazing. You'll no longer acquire a siege repair kit. So you guys were having too much fun with siege repair kit. Keep wall masonry repair kit. Keep door woodwork. Oh, I'm catching on to what this is about, and so on. Now there's just a Cyrodiil repair kit that will work on all things that used to have individual repair kits. These can be purchased for 250 alliance points or 90 gold from various merchants. Below are the repair rates for different items. Keep door, 5,000. Keep wall, 5,000. Mile gates, 5,000. Siege weapon, 20,000. Now, where's the Daggerfall Covenant repair kits? I don't see these Ebonheart Pact people talking too much. You know what I'm saying? Where's the Aldermary Dominion and Daggerfall Covenant repair kits? Huh? You Ebonheart Pact people? Why are you keep on talking too much? Stackable siege weaponry. Cyrodiil siege engineers have figured out how to condense siege weaponry so it stacks. You might say, how does he know that stuff? Because I'm the Daggerfall Covenant. Cyrodiil siege weapons will now stack up to 20 if they are at maximum health. Learn something new every day. I know, really do. When you look at this retarded information, you actually learn. So it's good to be informed in the news. You know what I'm saying? When placing siege weaponry from a quick slot, have you learned how to use your slot weaponry? Your slots in the slot. Have you learned how to use your slots? Have you learned how to put your slot in? You're in Daggerfall Covenant now. Do you know how to work your ballista? You had better get that ballista in your slot so you know how to work your ballista. Otherwise, you might get a sore thumb. Very serious. Cyrodiil siege engineers have figured out how to condense siege weaponry so it stacks. That doesn't sound very exciting. You know what I'm talking about? Putting siege weapons over siege weapons. What that means is putting like a ballista over a ballista, where the two ballistas just blow each other up. You know what I'm saying? That we want the ballista to fire out so we can take out them. So hopefully you will get more involved. It's like army militia in Daggerfall Covenant. I'm not even joking. It's like hands down like army ground boys. We're getting in. Uh-huh. So when placing siege weaponry from a quick slot, it will use the siege weapon with the lowest health in your inventory to help ensure your bag stays fresh. If you don't notice, I would have been great in the military. Still trying to get in the Air Force. I'm still trying. New rewards for the worthy. 3 new items obtained from rewards for the worthy have been added for you to acquire. Light armor, Oak Fathers Retribution. Oak Fathers. So Oaksworn, we have the Oaksworn, Oak Fathers. So what's this Oak Fathers Retribution? Interesting. 2 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 3 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 4 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 5 gains 449 offensive penetration against enemies for each major buff they have active. That's right. Ebonheart buff, you ain't going to be so buff anymore once you gain 20 weapon and spell damage against enemies for each minor buff they have active. If you don't catch on to it, miners, you're going to be spanked. You would be spanked. They thinking they're hot stuff. Well, just watch out. Watch out for the minor buff. I know. Medium armor, blunted blades. Have you seen the new blades in Sky Oblivion? It's the Dragon Guard. Did you forget the 5th version? It's the blunted blades. But in the current quest going on, what we have to do is we have to go over and we have to do some little waving with the arms, and we have to steal the Dragon Guard. I did it last night, and you can do it tonight too. So you're going to have to go over and you're going to have to talk to the very goofy lady inside of the Imperial sewer. He sends you on all sorts of mysterious quests that you won't know what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, you go into enemy territory and you get these big, heavy armored militias coming at you. Then all of a sudden, you thought the other alliances were with you. Then you're like, hey, I thought you were my friend right now. Hey, buddy. Hey, you like that blister in your mouth? And then they're like, no, I don't. And stay out. Medium armor, blunted blades. That's like the new blades are the blunted blades. Really are. We gotta get the Dragon Guard sealed. How are you doing with Dragon Imp? Dragon Imp. Dragon Imp's cute. And pretty soon, I will see Dragon Imp as a gummy, where I can put Dragon Imp inside of the Crown Crate gummy. 2 adds 1487 armor. 3 adds 1096 maximum stamina. 4 adds 129 weapon and spell damage. 5, when you take direct damage, minor enervation is applied to your enemy for 4 seconds, reducing their critical damage done by 10%. This can occur once every 5 seconds. Increase your damage done to enemies with minor enervation by 5%. Heavy armor, Bondar's Blessing. 2 adds 1487 armor. 3 adds 1206 maximum health. 4 adds 1206 maximum health. 5 reduce the duration of the breakable crowd control. Immobilizes and snares on you by 75%. Reduce the duration of your breakable crowd control, immobilizes and snares by 38%. New antiquities. We've added a new mythic for adventurers to find. The torque of the last Eyelid King is now accessible through the antiquities system. Hey, isn't this so much fun? Even though we're going overtime, Elder Scrolls is really fun. You thought this was boring stuff. It is super fun with a necklace. Torque of the last Eyelid King. Torque of the last Eyelid King. 1 disable. All other item set bonuses. Your boners. And increase your damage done by 20%. Who knows? I might have a boner. Reduce your damage taken by 20%. Increase your healing done by 20%. That's a spoiler. New collectibles, outfits, style pages for class sets are now available in the Infinite Archive to collect. I'm glad this is being called Infinite Archive now. It's like, I just noticed people were saying Endless Archive and this Endless Archive. And then that's when we came up with the word Infinite Archive. We're like, Infinite Archive! I love Infinite Archive! I couldn't stand that Endless Archive. It was endless hell. Style pages are curated and will drop for your class first. Other style pages will drop after a set is complete. All pages is usable, but you will not be able to outfit your character in class styles other than your current class. Right. Okay, known issue. Pages currently do not curate, but will be fixed in a future patch. Very interesting. Pet. The mirror, the mirror more. Mud crab. This is all good and everything. Oh, oh, you had me at Miramore Crab. You really had me at Miramore Crab. You really had me at Miramore Mud Crab. You really had me at Miramore Mud Crab. You really had